Hi, I'm Dr. Olin Odekoven, President and CEO here at Peregrine Global Services. At Peregrine Global, we presented a number of white papers that are available on our website that talk about different dimensions of quality, assessment, educational courses and programs. And today we're going to talk specifically about quality management in global business education. And I'm delighted to be joined today by Alima Jamian-Surian, our Director of East Asian and Pacific Operations. And Alima, you have just so much information to share about quality in the global setting in global management education, because you work with so many schools around the world to help design and build and implement quality systems, assessment solutions, educational courses and programs from time to time. And even helping them set up just even the system to do this in your work with schools around the world. So let's get started and we'll talk a little bit about quality management in the global business education. Well, I've used it several times, but Alima, help us understand, what exactly are we referring to when we say quality in higher education?
So, pleasure to be here, Olin. Thank you for that nice introduction. Again, my name is Alima Jamian-Surian, and I'm delighted to be here. Within the higher education, especially in the global setting, quality means a lot. And higher education is, of course, means to improvement, to improving making positive changes in the world. So then, if you look at each region, each country, you'll notice that there's so many higher educational institutions, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what differentiates? What does it mean to be a quality institution, right? So I like to start from the simple basics. Quality essentially means you promise to your students you're going to deliver a certain level of knowledge, skills, and competencies. And then, first of all, are you delivering on those promises to your students, right? And are you keeping your promise? Are you helping your students to improve, to build up on their knowledge and skills and abilities? But then most importantly, within quality, there's of course the aspect of accreditation. There's the aspect of joining an official programmatic or institutional accreditation organization that helps you along the process. But at the same time, there's so much competition. You want to differentiate yourself as a school that brings that, again, quality education to your students. And then we'd like to put it into the perspective of quality assurance within accreditation concept, but also within institutions being responsible, being trustworthy, being the faithful companions who help the society to bring on better educated students and learners and graduates into the society.
So truly, quality, although we talk a lot about the institution, the programs, the colleges, schools at the institution, but it's good, as you mentioned, to keep in mind that we don't work in isolation, that schools have a direct influence on their community, the workforce, the employers, and by producing quality level graduates, we are actually directly influencing the societies and cultures and communities in which these institutions operate. A great, excellent point when we talk about the role of quality in higher education. Well, quality management systems, and really quality is a system. It's no one thing. It's really in totality, because you can look at quality in so many different areas. We drill down in the quality areas of the student knowledge and the actual learning in the classroom, but very clearly there's quality of your library resources, quality of your leadership services, all different dimensions here. But Alima, where have you seen some of the best bang for the buck, so to speak, or some of those improvements occur as you've worked with schools around the world?
So as you rightly mentioned, quality encompasses many aspects of the higher educational institution. And the area we focus is on student learning. And learning directly, Nelson Mandela has a famous quote, when we improve the knowledge of our learners, they have better critical skills and abilities to impact the world and make the society better. So when we talk about the quality systems, we talk about measuring student learning, skills and competencies and abilities. And students are the center of our world, right? Higher education. And therefore, when we talk about it, managing the system, we're really managing the system of measuring student learning and how we can improve upon those results.
So we published a white paper. You were one of the co-authors of this white paper that looks specifically at quality in the global business education. Your section specifically drilled down on kind of some best practices and way forward. Other authors of the white paper included case studies and how assessment works at different institutions, as well as some of our colleagues here at Peregrine talked about best practices and culture and quality and kind of different aspects of this. But let's talk a little bit about specifically the Global Business Education Assessment Service and how should quality truly be measured.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to our Global Business Assessment tool, it's a very flexible and versatile tool. As we've touched upon, learning is a cornerstone, of course, of our activity. And depending on your institution's mission, of course, you might have research, you might have other activities. But at the end of the day, we want to help our learners to get better education. So in terms of measuring the learning of a student is first, and we talk about it, it has to be a quality improvement. It has to be a culture of wanting to improve your assessment processes, of course. And specifically with our Global Business Education Assessment tool, and we have experts in our organization who are really able to help the institutions to put the whole system in place. It starts by helping your program to come up with the proper, relevant, measurable, and simple learning outcomes at your course level, at your program level, and tied to the school level, college level, and the university level. And once you have worked to identify these learning outcomes, you need to select a proper tool to measure it. And we offer the Global Business Education Assessment tool, which is such a tool, and it's online, it's customizable, it's flexible, it helps you to conduct the assessment and streamline your assessment processes. But most importantly, the value comes in the data and the analytics and the metrics. And we discuss it in other places where you can conduct all the assessment you need and you want.
Right.
But if you don't review the data and analysis, and if you don't use that for academic decision making, for improving the academic content, for improving the delivery of the content, then it's a waste of money, effort, and resources.
Right. I know an old mentor of mine used to say, if you give me good data, I'll make good decisions. If you give me bad data, I'll make bad decisions. And if you give me no data, what decisions do you want? And I think that's really true when we talk about quality and assessment in higher education. The goal of the Global Business Education, as we refer to it, the GBE assessment, is to provide those academic decision makers with good quality data so they can make good quality-based decisions to affect the quality in the classroom and ultimately of those students and learners who are graduating from the institution. Certainly technology has improved and increased around the world, and here at Peregrine we leverage a variety of technologies to help deliver our assessment services and our educational courses and programs. But ultimately, as this second bullet talks about, the need for graduates to apply these skills learned in the workplace. Talk to us a little bit about Alma from what you've seen. You've traveled the world, been to many, many different communities, and you've met with employers in different cultures and different institutions. The idea here that these employers expect certain skills and knowledge and competencies from these graduates to really be the foundation for their business operations.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in this day and age. Employability, for our graduates to have learned skills and competencies to help them become successful in job places is a very important point. If anything, I was actually just discussing with the group in the Asia Pacific region how the number of students coming into higher education institutions is growing because the region is growing, right? And then, but with that, the responsibility for the programs to help their graduates, be more successful and get employment straight out of the door is ever more so important. And we know technology is a must skill, and so we help our learners. Sometimes our learners are even better equipped than we are when it comes to technology. But luckily, Peregrine is at the cutting edge of technology, We are proud of our organization, so we do really well there. But when it comes to really not only on top of having knowledge and skills and know-how of how to do things, the workplace readiness skills are so much more important, right? And then we see more and more how experiential learning is getting woven into regular instructional content. And we have solutions for that. I'll just plug in one-day strategy simulation. And students learn from interaction.
Right.
Students learn applied skills when they apply them, right? Not when they're reading from the books. And that's why there are other areas where Peregrine is growing and evolving to help the learners to be better equipped with those workplace success skills.
So it's so important. Business in general is such a, business education feeds business, but that it really is the foundations of so many societies, and I would almost argue probably all societies, where if we have that level of competencies within the business community, and I'm very loosely defining business, because almost every organization has an element, whether it's even higher education has a business component to it, is really the foundation of the economy within any society. Well, there's so much more we could talk about. Our white papers explore these and other subjects in great detail. To learn more about how you can apply the global business education and our other services into your classroom environment to improve quality, you can download these white papers from our website, peregrineglobal.com, or you can just simply send us an email and we'd be glad to visit with you to help talk to you through and share some of the best practices that we've learned over the years in our dealings with colleges and universities located throughout the world. Well, thank you for this time to discuss quality in the global business education.
Great, thank you very much.